I never wanted the night shift, honestly. Not even once. But you know how it is. You need the job, so you stop complaining. A hospital at night isn't the same place. During the day, it's loud. People talking, machines beeping, children crying. At night, it feels hollow, like the building is holding its breath. I was working as a nurse's aide in the ER. Long shifts, cold white lights, a plastic chair that reminds you every hour that you're tired. The first hour passes, the second drags. By the third, your mind starts messing with you. Small sounds, footsteps you don't see, monitors that beep once then go quiet. I kept telling myself, it's just exhaustion. Around 2:40 a.m., a man walked in, an old man, alone. He wasn't in pain, wasn't shouting, he just moved slowly, like every step took effort. His clothes were old but clean, his face was pale, and his eyes were open just a little too wide. I asked for his name. He didn't answer right away. He looked at me, then behind me, then down the hallway, like he was searching for something he'd lost. Finally, he spoke, very quietly. "I'm just here to check." I gave him that work smile, the automatic one, asked what he was feeling. "I'm cold," he said. That was strange. The room wasn't cold. I was wearing thin scrubs and felt fine. We took him into an exam room. I started filling out the form, name, date of birth, address. He answered slowly, like he was pulling the information from far away. When I reached the line that said emergency contact, he stopped. He lifted his head and looked straight at me. Then he said something I still think about. "No one answers after midnight." I let out a small laugh, a useless one. Said, "Yeah, most people are asleep." He didn't smile. At that moment, the computer screen went black, just for a second. Then it came back. I looked at him. He was still watching me. "I don't like this room," he said. I asked why. He shook his head slowly. "I've been here before." My hand stopped moving. I looked up, asked him when. He smiled, a soft smile, the kind someone gives when they know something you don't want to hear. "Last time," he said, "I didn't leave." And then he went quiet. And I didn't know what to say. I told myself not to overthink it. People say strange things, especially when they're tired or scared or old. Still, I felt something tighten in my chest. I checked his vitals. Blood pressure? Normal. Heart rate? Steady. Temperature? Slightly low, but nothing alarming. I joked, softly, "Maybe you just need an extra blanket." He didn't respond. I stepped out to grab one. The hallway was empty. Too empty. Lights humming. That low buzz that never really stops. When I came back, the room was empty. The bed was untouched. No wrinkles. No warmth. Nothing. For a second, I thought I'd made a mistake. Wrong room. Wrong patient. I checked the chart. His name was still there, still blinking on the screen. I walked to the nurse's station, asked if anyone moved the patient from room 6. They looked at me, confused. "What patient?" I laughed, a little too fast. Said the old man came in alone 10 minutes ago. One of the nurses frowned, pulled up the admissions log. Room 6 had been empty all night. I felt stupid, embarrassed, like I was letting the night get to me. I went back anyway, just to be sure. The room smelled different. Not bad, just old, like dust and something metallic. The monitor turned on by itself. One slow beep, then another. No patient attached. I reached to turn it off. That's when I heard the voice, behind me. "I told you I don't like this room." I froze, not screamed, not moved, just stopped. Slowly, I turned. He was standing by the door, exactly where he hadn't been before. Same clothes, same pale face, but his eyes were different now. Not wide, tired, very tired. "How did you—" My voice cracked. I cleared my throat. "How did you get back in?" He looked at the bed, then at me. "They always put me here," he said, "even when I asked them not to." I swallowed. "Put you here? When?" He hesitated, like he didn't want to answer. "After the heart monitor goes flat," he said, "and everyone gets very quiet." I laughed again. I didn't mean to. It just happened. "That's not funny," I said, even though no one was joking. He nodded. "I know." The lights flickered. Once. Twice. I backed toward the door. "You should lie down," I said. "I'll get the doctor." He shook his head. "No doctors," he whispered. "They already tried." My pager went off. Loud. Sharp. I nearly dropped it. "Code blue, room 6. I looked at him, then at the pager, then back at him. He smiled. Just a little. "See?" he said. "Right on time." I didn't run. I thought I would, but my legs didn't listen. The code blue echoed down the hallway. Footsteps rushed toward room 6. Voices, orders, gloves snapping, and somehow, no one saw him. They passed right through the doorway, right past where he was standing. I pressed myself against the wall, heart pounding, trying to breathe quietly like that mattered. They worked on the bed, an empty bed. Chest compressions on air. Defibrillator charged. Clear. Nothing. One of the doctors shouted, confused, "Where's the patient?" No answer. The monitors screamed, then went flat. The room fell silent. I looked at the old man. He sat down on the edge of the bed, like he always had. "I hate this part," he said. "Everyone looks so tired." I whispered, barely audible, "There was no patient?" He nodded. "There never is," he said. "Not after." I felt tears in my eyes. Not fear, something heavier. "Why are you here?" I asked. He looked surprised by the question, then sad. "I come back to make sure they didn't forget me," he said. "They always forget." The team slowly left the room, talking quietly. One of them turned off the light. Darkness. Just us. "You shouldn't be able to see me," he said. "I know," I replied. He smiled. A real smile this time. "Then maybe you're the right one." He stood, straightened his coat. "I died here," he said. 3 years ago. Same room, same hour." I closed my eyes. "When?" I asked. He answered without hesitation. 2:41 a.m. I checked my watch. 2:42. The lights came back on. He was gone. The room was empty again. Truly empty. No smell, no warmth. Just the bed. Later that morning when my shift ended, I asked about room 6. An older nurse looked at me strangely. "Why that room?" she asked. I told her. She sighed. "Room 6 used to be a problem," she said. "People kept reporting things." "What kind of things?" She hesitated. "Patients checking in," she said, "who were already dead." I quit night shifts a week later. Not dramatically, just quietly. Filled out a form, gave a reason that sounded normal, but something in me changed. I started paying attention to times, to rooms, to the silence between beeps. I stopped laughing at old stories, stopped calling them stress, because sometimes someone really is just there to check. And sometimes they don't want to be alone. I still work in healthcare, day shifts only. Every now and then at 2:40 a.m., no matter where I am, I feel cold. And I think of room 6. And I hope he finally left. This one happened later. Different hospital, different city, same hours. I was working security that time. Night shift again. Funny how life keeps putting you back there. Hospitals at night feel exposed, like the walls are thinner, like everything private comes closer to the surface. My job was simple. Walk the halls, check locked doors, make sure no one wandered where they shouldn't. Psych wing was off limits after midnight, always locked, always quiet. Around 1:55 a.m., my radio crackled. Static first, then a voice. "Security? Can you check Ward C?" I sighed. Ward C again. Always Ward C. I asked what was wrong. A pause. Then, the door opened by itself. I joked, half asleep. "Tired building." No one laughed. I walked down the corridor. Lights dimmed, floor polished enough to reflect you, which I hate, by the way, feels like someone's walking behind you. Ward C door was open, wide open. I stood there a second, thinking, debating whether I really wanted to know. Inside, lights were on. That was wrong. Psych rooms are dark at night, always. I stepped in. "Hello?" My voice sounded smaller than usual. A wheelchair sat in the middle of the hallway, empty, facing the wall. I called out again. Nothing. I bent down to move the chair. That's when it rolled back, on its own, slow, controlled. I laughed, quietly, nervous laugh. "Okay," I muttered, "that's new." Then I heard breathing, close, not heavy, not panicked, just waiting. I turned around too fast, heart pounding. No one there. The breathing continued, behind the nurse's station, glass window, curtain half closed. I walked closer. Each step felt louder than it should. "Hospital security," I said. "Please respond." The curtain moved. Not pulled, not pushed. It just shifted. A man was sitting there, strapped into the chair, wrists bound, chest strap tight, eyes open, wide. Too aware. "Are you staff?" I asked. He shook his head. "Patient?" Slow nod. I checked the tag on the chair. No name. Just a date. 7 years ago. "You shouldn't be here," I said. He smiled. "I know." That smile didn't reach his eyes. "They leave me when it's quiet," he whispered, "because I scream less." I felt sick. "I'm calling a nurse." He grabbed my wrist. Cold. Not sweaty. Just cold. "Don't," he said. "They already came." I pulled away. "That's not funny." He tilted his head. "I stopped being funny the night I died." The lights flickered. The radio screamed static. I backed up. "What happened to you?" I asked. He stared at the straps. "They forgot to unbuckle me," he said, "during the fire drill." My throat closed. "No," I whispered. He nodded. "I sat here," he said, "and waited." The breathing stopped. Suddenly. Too suddenly. The ward alarms went off. Doors slamming shut automatically. Red lights. I turned back toward him. The chair was empty. Straps hanging loose. Still warm. Nurses rushed in. Doctors. Questions. I told them everything. Every word. They listened. Quietly. Too quietly. An older nurse pulled me aside. "You saw him, didn't you?" I nodded. She closed her eyes. "He shows up when the building remembers," she said, "when it gets quiet enough." They reassigned me after that. Different wing, different route. Ward C stayed locked. Always. I stopped mocking mental health patients. Stopped calling them unstable. Some of them weren't sick. Some of them were just forgotten. I still do security, but I talk to empty rooms now, just in case. Say goodnight. Say goodbye. Every time a wheelchair rolls by itself, I step aside, and I unbuckle it, just in case. I thought I was done with hospitals. Really? After the second one, I said enough. But this wasn't medical work, just cleaning. Night janitor, temporary job. I told myself, no patients, no emergencies, just floors and trash bags. The hospital was old, older than the others. Low ceilings, yellow lights. My shift started at midnight. They gave me a map, told me which floors to avoid. One floor was circled in red, maternity wing, closed for renovations. "Why is it closed?" I asked. The supervisor shrugged. "Old stuff." I laughed. That kind of laugh that says, "I don't want details." Around 3:10 a.m., my cart rolled on its own. Just a little. I blamed the slope. Then I heard crying. A baby. I stopped. Hospitals make you imagine things. I know that. But this was real. Soft. Rhythmic. Coming from the closed floor. I radioed in. No response. The elevator button lit up by itself. I didn't press it. The doors opened, and I stepped in. The maternity floor smelled clean. Too clean, like it hadn't been used in years. Lights flickered. The crying got louder. Room numbers passed slowly. 310, 312, 314. The sound came from 316. Door open. Inside, a crib. Empty. The crying continued. From nowhere. Then I saw her. A woman sitting in the corner. Hospital gown. Hair matted. Rocking her arms. Nothing in them. "I lost him," she whispered. "They said it happens." I stood frozen. "I just want to hold him once more." I tried to speak. Nothing came out. She looked up. Her eyes were red. Not crying. Empty. "They cleaned the room," she said, "like I was never here." The crying stopped. The lights went out. My radio crackled. "Floor closed," a voice said. "Do not enter." Too late. She stood, handed me something. Warm. Heavy. Then it was gone. The lights came back. The room was empty. No crib. No woman. Just my hands shaking. I quit night shifts a week later. Not dramatically, just quietly. Filled out a form, gave a reason that sounded normal, but something in me changed. I started paying attention to times, to rooms, to the silence between beeps. I stopped laughing at old stories, stopped calling them stress, because sometimes someone really is just there to check. And sometimes they don't want to be alone. I still work in healthcare, day shifts only. Every now and then at 2:40 a.m., no matter where I am, I feel cold. And I think of room 6, and I hope he finally left. The story's over. Don't forget to support me with a like and subscribe.